The late 19th century was lit by streams of gaslight. Pull on a beaded chain and regulate the amount of glow needed to illuminate your home. Electricity, a new invention, would, however, change the way we see at night. But first, new fixtures would be needed for that transformation. From America's Manufacturing Center, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Waldo Calvin Bryant of Bryant Electric would help the electric revolution with the design and patent of the first enclosed electrical switch, and eventually the first electric light pole, the familiar beaded light pole chain. Close Bryant friend Gilbert W. Goodridge designed and built the first chain-making machine in America.
My great-grandfather decided, why don't we make that a separate operation? And my grandfather just graduated from Yale and became the first president of Bead Chain Manufacturing Company on March 17, 1914. So we started making our own chain. World War I broke out in Austria, and so the chain supply ended. So Bead Chain Manufacturing Company had a national market for chain overnight.
In 1916, across from the Bryant Electric plant, the bead manufacturing facility was built.
They started out with 2 floors on a building that was designed to have 4. In the 20s, they went up a 3rd story, and in the 30s, they went up a 4th story. And at the height of their production, I believe they had 3 shifts and over 300 people, and they actually had 2 nurses full-time on staff. It was designed for a lot of operations. For example, we had a full plating department. We had a full slitting department down in the basement.
Bead quickly diversified, making more than just bead chain. From as early as the 1920s, using a unique swaging process, Bead developed radio contact tubular pins that sold for half the price of screw machine parts. Thus started Bead's electronics business.
Ours is a process where there is no scrap, and it's about half the price of screw machine parts, and it adapted very well in the radio vacuum tube industry. And of course, launched right into television as well.
It was chain, however, that continued to drive the business early on. Bead chain was, in the 1930s, specified for U.S. military ID tags. During World War II, the company delivered U.S. and Canadian Armed Forces more than 22 million bead chain dog tag necklaces without a single reject. This achievement earned the company the Army-Navy EE flag and was given a special commendation by the U.S. Ordnance Department. The success of Bead Chain led to the purchase of Bridgeport Silverware, which provided Bead with additional plating capacity for its chain and electronics products. Interestingly enough, the Bridgeport Silverware facility would later house the Bead Tackle Division, which developed one of the most successful fishing lures of all time, the Bridgeport Diamond Jig. As the company matured by mid-20th century, millions of contact pins for the fluorescent lighting industry were also manufactured. Bead employees say while innovation and facilities were critical, the real key to 100 years of Bead's success was the culture adopted by Bryant leadership, as was recently documented in comments about both Gerald, the first president, and his son Dexter Bryant.
My grandfather was president of the company for 50 years.
He came across as your favorite grandfather, to the employees, because that's how he was with the folks down on the floor. He used to just come around every day and in the afternoon and say hello to everybody in the shop. I remember when I first started, he came down, introduced himself, welcomed me to the company. Again, it made you feel that you wanted to work there.
Dexter was easygoing, friendly, but he expected you to do what you said you could do, and we just got along great.
A memorably sad year at the old Bead site was 1984, when Waldo Gerald Bryant passed away, and just 4 months later, its then current president, William Wright, died in a tragic home fire. Bead and American manufacturing in general were hit hard, and through the years, employee numbers shrunk. But Bead leadership did what it could to keep its nucleus together.
They didn't want to lay off people. Again, it was sort of like a family, and you wanted to keep the family together as best you could.
Just weathering wars, 2 world wars, a depression, a huge recession, all the things that go on. It's amazing that a company has the resiliency, and I think it's because we're a family, because the employees are all a family.
Mr. Bryant, W.G. Bryant, Ken's grandfather, very friendly guy, he made you feel like you were part of a family.
They were honest. They would do what they said they would do. They always looked out for their workers.
They're like a family. They're very, close to the workers, and they always ask whatever we need to do the job better.
It's pretty much like family.
It is. They treat you like family.
They take care of us here.
And we all get along real nice.
Because not a lot of companies take care of their employees the way that
They do here.
Yeah.
It was a pleasant place to work.
And you had departments that had to work together, coordinate to make stuff, assemble stuff, plate stuff, and ship stuff out the door. And I felt it was a good, smooth working organization.
The best memories I have is the cooperation that management and the Bryant family gave me to modernize the company and new equipment, new designs, and new quality control systems, and new tool room, computer control milling machines, and so on. And they never said no.
That positive working environment was rewarded in 1966 and again in 1970, when employees voted against union representation and, in effect, for the family work atmosphere. Bead leadership also stabilized the company through acquisitions. In the 1970s, Bead acquired the McGuire Manufacturing Company, which distributes the trim line of high-quality commercial plumbing products. They also entered into a joint venture with Sturge Chain in England to supply Bead Chain to European markets. In the late 80s, Bead also went through a brand change, going from Bead Chain Manufacturing Company to Bead Industries Incorporated to better reflect its many diverse businesses.
The tandem pin is probably the biggest step we've made lately, which has increased our market share.
The fourth generation Bryant, Ken Bryant, became CEO as the new millennium brought on new challenges, so he recruited support that would fit in nicely with Bryant traditions.
I hired Ron 2 years after I was here, and Ron has just been just a tremendous person for me. We have the same visions, we have usually the same approach, and if we ever get in a disagreement, we can solve it. I don't think we've said an angry word to each other in the last 13 years.
Ron Andreoli and Ken Bryant immediately confronted challenges brought about by the 9/11 terrorist attacks, the move of Bead Chain manufacturing to South Korea, the sale of the old Bead Chain building, the purchase of a new facility in Milford, Connecticut, and the 2009 recession. Bead would survive in part because of a strong tandem pin and McGuire product sales. While much has changed, most dramatically the move out of the old Bead building, there is some consolation in knowing the building is being renovated into a charter school, which will produce a new generation of Bridgeport area talent. Only the fourth floor of the old plant, which hasn't been renovated yet, has any trace of the old facility.
This is the sales area of Bead Chain. When we had our sales offices up here, we had a number of cubicles here. This is the office door of Mr. W.G. Bryant, the founder of the company. This was his office. He was the CEO. And in the office next to him was the office of the president. And as in any executive offices, you would find there was an executive restroom and the executive kitchenette. And inside there was, I'm sure at one time, some scotch that was stocked inside of here for the executives. This was the passenger elevator that was used to go up to the fourth floor. It is probably the second oldest elevator in Connecticut that's still in use, and it's all real wood.
And a number of times that we'd get loaded with 4 or 5 of the girls and get stuck between floors, and then everybody would go crazy trying to get them out and get the elevator to move up or down. And we never lost anybody, but they were all afraid of it.
No elevator issues at the current single-story modern plant in Milford, which Bead bought. Coincidentally, the building was once leased by one of its loyal customers, Light Sources. Today, Bead continues to provide them and other customers the quality to which they have become accustomed.
We've been doing business with Bead since we started manufacturing in Connecticut, which goes back to 1985. We manufacture on average 1.5 to 2 million lamps per year with 4 pins per lamp, so 8 million pins per year that we source from Bead. They are our sole provider of pins that we use for the end fittings on all of our lamps. As an example, for many of the end fittings that we use, we utilize all of the Bead pins in each of the configurations.
We aren't in the fluorescent lighting anymore because the way they mass produce it doesn't work with our seamed parts, but guess what? LED lighting is right behind fluorescence, and we're already making parts for the companies that are starting that new technology. We sell to the telecommunications, the automotive, the PC board, especially lighting company. Our products are so far-ranging. We have sold chain assemblies that have been on Stinger missiles. We sell stuff that's gone to the moon, very small onesie-twosie things, but we're also in an awful lot of vehicles out on the road today. And we tell our people, you know, this component might be for an airbag. Let's not take this lightly. Lives are involved here. And so I always try to, they just see these billions and billions of little pins, and I try to say, no, that goes into this assembly, which goes into this vehicle or this item here. Let's think about the end user and how important our products are.
Of course, there's the ever-faithful Bead Chain.
Electric light with a pull chain is still ever present anywhere you go. I mean, they'll be in your basement light, they'll be in your closet light, and certainly in the window blind industry today. Huge hotels as far away as Singapore have huge bead curtains. A lot of celebrities wear it around their neck as a fashion statement. We call the chain of 10,000 uses.
As ever-present as the pull chain is, Ken knows it's the employees who have made the 100 years possible.
They lend so much. They have such deep knowledge of everything about our products and our process that just makes them completely invaluable. They trust us. They trust us with their lives. They basically trust us with the livelihood of their families. And you know, just like a little city, babies are born, they go off to school, they go off to college, they end up being very successful in their lives, and so we watch our employees go from single people to marriage to motherhood or fatherhood, and the next thing you know, they're grandparents.
Was quite a few marriages there. It never happened to me, but it happened to, you know, a few of the girls and also the guys there. You know, they found their loved ones there.
I could retire if I wanted now. I mean, I'm old enough to do that, but I still enjoy my job. I still enjoy coming to work. I still enjoy working with the people I'm working with.
My daughter is slated to take over my position. I have actually 3 daughters and a son-in-law currently in the business, and they're the ones doing the new ERP system. They're the computer gurus that have redone our website, that do things that I don't even ask them how they're doing it anymore. I just accept that they do it. And that's the vitality that you need. You need to have that spark, that fire, always coming up through the ranks in the company.
Now that all 3 of us are here, there's so much more support. Whereas when Dad came in, there wasn't any support. It was him, you know, having to come in. So there's a big sense of security in that, knowing that, okay, yeah, we can do this. We can make this happen.
Now it's up to the kids to be creative and find the new products, find new problems that they can solve with new products, and to keep on in the digital age and market the way they have to market today. I've read some statistics that only 1 in 3 companies get to a 2nd generation, and the odds of getting to a 6th generation right around the corner for us is 500 to 1.
You want to come out of the sort of the smokestack image and try to make it, hey, you know, anyone can work here, young people too, and it can be fun. It's all about the people you surround yourself with. Now we really need to hunker down and go full force on the areas that are working and get some sales feet on the ground.
It's amazing, and people say the same thing, that the same family still owns a company in the same state, in the same area, where a lot of companies, they've been sold off or moved out of the, areas wherever they started from. And so I think it's kind of unique that I work for a company like that.
I think it's terrific. It's wonderful, and I am so happy to be here to be part of it.
I look back and I can't believe the things that Ron and I and the board have accomplished over the years, and I'm just thrilled that I've taken the company through its 100th year, and that my children are working down the hall.
We are here just under 300 employees in this facility. Many of those, without bead pins and without the success we've had with our products, certainly wouldn't have the jobs that they do.
There's a lot of people at American Electro that have families, they live in this area, and they draw a paycheck every week from this company. And part of the money that we're able to pay comes from the fact that we have customers like Bead. So they're contributing, yes, they contribute to their own people, but they also help our people out as well. Congratulations, keep doing what you're doing. I've known you guys for a long time. You're one of the best companies that I do business with, and it's been a pleasure.
I think it's amazing that a company here in America still can reach 100 years, and for being such a valuable partner to us. On behalf of everyone at Light Sources, we thank you very much.
It's actually now 43 years and a couple months.
I've been here 42 plus years.
You've been here for 36 years?
36 and a half.
I'm very thankful to the family that have stayed in business, and they have kept me here for all these years.
It's significant that you had people in the 1800s who had visions of what to do, and then people taking over for them in the 20s and carrying something like this through all these years, 100 years. It's just a real feat, and I believe it needs to be celebrated, not only for the people that are here today, but for all the people that have been part of the Bead family for the last 100 years.